biker gangs, street squids, or just all around idiots and douchebags. These are the three main stereotypes associated with motorcycle riders in the US. And despite the bravado, brashness, and all around dick swinging the US loves to portray itself as, America, fuck yeah! As a country, we are extremely timid and conservative when it comes to motorcycles. One would think that with all the patriotic fervor you see in our country, and the vast expanse of highways and roads that crisscross all around the US, there would be more people riding motorcycles in this country. Unfortunately, because of these general perceptions of what it is to be a motorcycle rider, I think a lot of people in the US avoid the sport altogether because of this. I think a lot of people just believe that you have to be one of those things in order to start riding a motorcycle, or in order to even begin riding a motorcycle. You can't just be a normal person riding a motorcycle. And also, because motorcycle riders are so few and far between in the country, a lot of people don't even know anybody who rides a motorcycle. And so, I think that also stops people from even giving the sport a try. Taking that leap of faith and just going out and learning how to do it. Like, you don't have to be some macho man or woman that is constantly bumping their chest, super aggressive, and just all around not a great person to be around type. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Like, honestly, just being a curious person with a little sense of adventure is all you really need. Like, are there biker gangs, street squids, and just all around idiots riding on motorcycles out there? Of course there are, but that's not what riding is about, nor does that represent the vast majority of motorcycle riders in the country, or around the world, honestly. In fact, I would say that the people who ride the most, and are probably the most skilled at riding a motorcycle, are kind of basically nerds. They may not be the stereotypical vision of a nerd that you have in your head, but essentially, we're nerds who just look cooler, I guess, because we have a motorcycle. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we all just watched too many anime or Western movies back in the day and we saw some inspiring clip of the main character getting on their horse or getting on a motorcycle and riding off into the sunset, and we all just sat there thinking like, damn, that looks cool as hell. I would like to do that someday. You don't need to be an adrenaline junkie or some out-of-control lunatic to start riding. You don't need to be an emotionally unstable individual just looking for some sort of an escape, or an idiot who wants to fly down the highway at 200 miles an hour. Because let's face it, boys, that shit's dumb. You guys need to cut it out. Like, seriously. In fact, to have a long riding career, honestly, it's arguably better to not be one of these things. All you need is the humbleness and desire to learn something new, and the drive to continually improve at it. I mean, hell, you don't even really need that, though it is a good sentiment to have just as a general life philosophy. But when you look at other countries around the world, there are millions of people in these countries that are riding either little scooters or little 125, 150cc motorcycles. Simply because they are just a very easy, practical, cheap way to commute. You can duck in and out of traffic in other countries. Again, we're a little weird about motorcycles in the US. There are states that feel that it's less dangerous to have people walking around with guns as opposed to splitting a lane. I don't know why that's where we draw the line there, but alright. So if you've ever had any interest in motorcycles at all and wanted to give it a shot, go for it. You don't have to be anything other than a human being that just has some interest in motorcycles. And given that these days there are so many people riding on two wheels, I think there's a lot of people out here that can understand, finally, why it is that we love riding. Because it's just pure goddamn fun. Does it take more skill than driving? Yes. Is there going to be a higher learning curve in order to get good at it? Definitely. But you know what? The concepts are not as difficult as you might think. If you take it step by step, and you just practice and learn, and keep yourself open and humble to being critiqued, I think you'll do just fine. Riding is only as dangerous as you make it. It is not a forlorn conclusion that you are absolutely going to die if you ride a motorcycle. Okay? There are lots of people who have made it into their senior years and are still riding, which I find very inspiring and hopeful. Hopeful? Inspiring. Anyways, that's who I want to be. I want to be that guy who's like 80 years old still riding a motorcycle because awesome. And honestly, these days are the best. This is probably the best time to be a new rider. There's so many beginner bikes out there, and also don't be fooled by the term beginner bike. Okay? Lots and lots of power on tap, even with these machines. But there's all sorts of really great training material out there. There's plenty of information floating around. Maybe too much. I mean, it could get a little overwhelming, I guess. You're going to have to sort through the bullshit. I can always provide recommendations as to the people that I like learning from. But essentially, now is a great time to be a new rider. While there's still a lot of fact versus fiction out there, it was, I think, a lot harder to verify whether the person you were learning from was just giving you bullshit or not. There's much more objective data out there to help support the people who are genuine teachers, genuine coaches. So if you've been thinking about a motorcycle, if you're parked in your car in traffic and you see a bike go by and you just think, damn, that looks cool. I wish I could learn how to do that. Go out and give it a shot. You don't have to be anybody special. You don't need any sort of you don't need any sort of special mentality in order to do it. It's not magic riding a bike. It's physics. And I think if you take it slow and just build from the ground up and keep your ego in check, you're going to have a great time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.